Hello and welcome, it is I, Lynx, and we are playing Chronotopia. Let's see how it goes. Looking forward to some bad endings, of course. One afternoon, as she was moping on the patio, unfortunately she was not actually moping the patio, but on the patio, it occurred to her that she could summon the fairy to force her to keep her company. Oh yes, please force her to do that. That will definitely be a wonderful idea. Oh boy, this is not going to end well, which is good. A whirlwind of dead leaves materialized in front of her, and the creature came out of it with a more sullen look than usual. Yes, my child. That I do not like. I'm dying of boredom, godmother. All the people who live here against me. I wonder why. I need to talk to someone I can rely on. Oh, really? I did not know I was so trustworthy. At least you have not tried to stab me in the back like the others yet. Unfortunately. Then again, you deserve that stab so much. This is indeed not my style. I never strike without warning. Technically, you did warn her. In a way, there was something sinister about the chunk escaping from her lips. Kionna could not help shivering for an instant. Enough joking. Why did you call me here? I've already told you I'm longing for a confidant. All those who are surrounding me are miscreants, who are only seeking to harm me. I mean, you gave them reasons. Being so kind, would you not converse with me a little? Have you considered that your isolation could be the fruits of your own actions, huh? What are you playing here, godmother? Huh? I observed your state since the beginning, and it is rather clear that you did wonder to cut yourself off from everyone. I've done nothing wrong. I make an effort to be polite with retainers. Bullshit. I talk to them from time to time, and Tally regularly comes to guard me. Bullshit, he's not doing that anymore. Are you not confusing with your previous life? The events are so similar that you are mixing them up. Except they are not similar. Absolutely not. I'm quite capable of distinguishing the difference. Not capable of anything. I can tell by the fact that Georgie did not stay with me this time because of that witch Gemma. That devil did everything she could to stop him. Wow. Someone tell her to watch the previous episode. Jesus. You know what's funny? I kind of don't even have the strength to attack her anymore. Like, whatever. See, I'm not hallucinating. No, not yet, princess, not yet. You must stop imagining that the whole world wants you dead. It is only making your temper worse and worse. Now she will blow up. Ah, what a shame. But that is the truth. All the designers here are Lady Seraph's accomplice, and Lord Tally is under her influence. She's scheming to kill me again, I know it. You're dumb. Medea's only reply was to raise her eyes heavenward, which increased her protege's fury. Oh my god. Please, Kionna, do something stupid, something really stupid to awaken the wrath of the fairy. Oi, what if, that other world we had in the very beginning? What if whoever it was who woke up there, it was, that dumb princess, and she actually managed to awaken Medea's wrath, and that's why she's there. That would be so cool. The true end is no good end. Let's go. How can you be so calm when my life is at stake? Because it's worthless.
Are you not the one who said that I should bring an end to my time travels as soon as possible? If I die, I will have to begin again. You will remain trapped with me.
I mean, technically she does not necessarily over here need to grant you the wish. If you think about it.
I know this all too well. You forget I'm also the one who advised you to not act precipitously, which you immediately did. You dumb boss. I was even against your idea. I did not want to see you come back to Clermont, discerning all too well what could happen, and you are proving me right today. But I have brain, unlike you.
Annoyed Kionna clicked her tongue.
Are your face full of ice water to remain so stoic? Mine are boiling.
Oh, you lousy wannabe princess. Come now, do you believe to be the only human being I have come across in all my existence? I've seen many others make desperate attempts before you. I'm accustomed to death, I do not fear it.
You could at least pretend to feel sorry for me.
I'm not. Nonsense, I may be your godmother, but I'm not your nanny. And also, I don't care. Why would I? I've seen your actions. Besides, you had been warned. Did I not tell you to be careful because you were already losing sight of what was really important?
Could you stop being so nebulous with your riddles?
How about no? No. What, you want a solution? Find it yourself. Finally, for once. The fairy sighed loudly, visibly at her wit's end.
You humans are all the same. When you do not want to look the truth in the face, one could break your nose with it and you would still deny seeing anything. Think for yourself. You will reflect on your denatured wish when you will be alone again. Now, if you excuse me, I would rather take my leave. Even a flower pot is friendlier.
So true. And without giving her interlocutor a chance to protest, she disintegrated in the wind. The princess became exasperated. Oh, what with the shocked face? You deserve to be left alone. Come on.
Medea, come back! I need you to appear before me!
The creature turned a deaf ear, which forced her to calm down a bit. Understanding that her shrieks would not bring her back, Kionna lost herself in the contemplation of the autumnal garden. The short meeting had at least the merit of giving her food for thought.
What is you trying to say? What could I have lost sight of?
As her godmother had advised her, she started thinking about the nature of her wish. Even though that's really tough, considering her very smooth brain without any wrinkles.
Has to go back in time to undo my mistakes, but not remember quite well why.
I don't have strength for that.
I believe I have some reservations about paying the fairy's tribute. What was it again?
To be fair, I don't think... Was it sad? Whatever. Her memory seemed befogged by those long months of learning. Learning with what? She had lived through so many things that the time when she was a naive girl now seemed distant and nebulous. It was like 2 episodes, maybe. Yet to solve the fairy's riddle, she had to remember her first reluctance. Kionna meditated at length until the breeze finally whispered the answer to her, resurrecting old and less old buried memories. Too bad.
Princess, you're here! Fall has come and trees are full of stars! As it does every year, Nakima, there is nothing remarkable about it. I believe that you were wrong. Each season is another opportunity by nature. If God made it so beautiful, I would be ashamed not to enjoy it.
I really don't like autumn, by the way. I think it's the time of the year where there are the most bugs, and they piss me off. They're a pain when, especially when like walking with dog, or when going on a run in the evening. Annoying as heck.
You have something in the back of your mind, do you mind? Do you want to dance in the wind again? The weather is unfortunately comforted. What if we go big chestnuts instead? Today. Not in a fucking week. Pretty please, princess, I want to pick chestnuts so much. Understood, do not sulk. Here, look, I'm following you. Magic comes at a price. In exchange for having your greatest wish fulfilled, you must vanish from the memory of the person you love the most.
Oh, that thing. Got it. That epiphany ejected her from her reveries like a thunderclap. Would be nice if thunder clapped her in the face.
Nahima.
I mean, not like you care, so whatever, right? She had been so preoccupied by her own personal problems, her adventures, her repeated deaths that she had forgotten what was important. Her childhood friend.
Lies, I tell ya.
I would love to play Nahima's story instead of that one. So that was the warning her godmother had tried to give her. Not to forget what she was fighting for. I mean, to be fair, she was constantly fighting only for herself. Not like she actually showed any moment where she actually cared about Nahima, so... If Kionna had refused to pay the fairy's tribute, it was because she didn't want to sacrifice her relationship with Nahima. And yet, quite ironically, she had still expunged her from her life. She had abandoned her. That was why her wish had become denatured. It had been rendered completely meaningless. She could have destroyed her rival and saved her son during her previous life, since she was not fighting for Nahima anymore. How about not? If she had issued the exact same request, it must have been because fragments of fondness were still lingering in her mind, only begging to resurface. All that needed to be done was to warm her heart frozen by hostility. I mean, it will still be like garbage, so... By misfortune, she was not able to question her actions or come back on her mistakes. Instead, too deeply drawn in her delirium, she completely embraced them. Not surprised at all. I would not show up if I was Medea. Not gonna lie. I'd be like, freak it, I will never be in front of her. She has a wish, I don't care. Thus when the fairy paid her... I mean, it is said that it is allowed. It's not like she must comply. Thus when the fairy paid her visit the following day, I don't know why, she found that she had hardly changed, no surprise. Listen, trash will never change, let's face it.
Have you calmed down since yesterday? Wannabe princess? I've never lost my temper! Really? I dare not imagine what the face of your fury would be if this is your serenity. Have you given a thought to what I told you? Naturally, I even solved your little charade. You're trying to make me feel guilty because I've not bothered to speak with Nami before escaping my father's castle, is that it? Guilty is a mighty big word. Only sought to help you. Stupid child. If you wish to overcome your shortcomings, you do need to acknowledge them first. I've made no mistake. Admittedly, I regret having been so distant towards Nahima, but I had good reasons to do so. And what are those reasons, huh? Given my circumstances, you should understand why my flight was an emergency. I need to save my situation at Clermont first. So your position as Prince Tali's mistress, as mother of the future heir to the throne, was more important than your friendship. Do not twist my words. I intend to summon her once all of this will be resolved.
She did not twist your words at all.
Why not do so earlier, huh? Her presence could have been a substantial asset to foil your own murder.
Kionna opened her mouth, so wide that she could have dislocated her jaw. Unfortunately, she didn't. She thought she had an answer to everything, however she had to admit that the fairy had destabilized her. I mean, come on, let's face it. I mean, you're too dumb to think something like that. Her argument sounded extraordinarily simple and yet so evident. Why did she not think of contacting Nahima? Because you're dumb. She would have been safe at Clermont and life would have only become more pleasant. For who? We don't want your life to be pleasant for, Kionna. Vigorously shaking her head, she tried to make these atrocious thoughts disappear. Those thoughts of failure. Her middle name. She could not come to terms with the fact that she had wasted full months waiting in this prison for nothing. All the more so that she had come back All her certainties tumbled down like sandcastles and she desperately attempted to grab onto something.
It is too late now?
Why? Why are you doing this, Medea? Come on. Don't support her. Sensing that her protege was staggering under a wave of unavowed remorses, Medea came closer and gently placed a hand on her shoulder.
It is never too late, child.
Kionna violently pushed her away. Trash.
Of course it is too late. After all the orders committed, I gotta go back. Not this time. I need to succeed you here.
Jesus, please. Just don't grant her the wish once she dies, please. Let's end it once and for all, Medea. Come on. Affliction clouded the fairy's face.
I see that it's pointless to insist. If you're going to be this way, I will leave you to your own spitefulness. You've no right to run away. We are bound by magical pact. You must obey me.
Bullshit. She told you. She does not have to.
Oh, but I do not owe you anything, wannabe princess. The pact only compels me to fulfill your wish. Nothing more, nothing less. All the small favors I do are purely voluntary, and I am free to put an end to it immediately if I see fit. This is not what you told me in the previous timeline? Oh, really? In that case, I lied. Unless I'm lying right now. So betray me as well.
Would be nice. Medea growled, yielding to anger and desperation herself.
It is decidedly impossible to have any sort of discussion with you. No, my dear, that as you kept wearing a mask of malice to harden your heart, you became the mask itself. Here you are now, just as despicable as the woman you hated, if not more.
Oi, how about you don't say something like that about her? She's done nothing wrong. And I don't talk about Kionna here, but about Tali's wife. She's done nothing wrong. She's not despicable. What she's done? Totally acceptable.
Tissue of lies! I'm done here. It is impossible to some sense into you anyway. Even the state you are in. I'll now only respond to calls if you swear not to insult me again.
Or don't respond at all, come on.
I do not wish you a good evening, madame.
The creature disintegrated in the void with a dark look. Alone once again, Kionna relentlessly paced the few meters of her room up and down.
I'm fine, everything is perfectly fine.
With unmatched nervousness, she went round in circles the whole evening and fasted again. Dude, she will drop down because of not eating, as she was now doing from time to time. Which would be fine with me, to be fair, if she dropped down. As if to confirm the first prediction, she went to bed early, exhausted but boiling inside. Would be nice if she boiled completely. I had to. Lying down the bed that felt so hard, she stared at the ceiling with a gaunt face. As her vision was becoming blurry, the darkness slowly made way for a bright light she could not ignore. Oh, that was a good ending for her. Upon half-heartedly adjusting her eyes, she caught sight of the sun, a blue sky, the light reflections of the early morning. A fresh breeze was caressing her cheek, and for one moment she felt good. Suddenly she had an uncontrollable cough attack. She wanted to bring her hands to her mouth, but she realized that she was suspended in midair, unable to free herself.
I mean, you could try.
Blood dripped from the metal, blood dripped from her mouth. She was suffocating, she was sleeping, everything was turning into white. And then the pain came. Her throat was on fire. Her throat was burning her terribly. Her hands unconstrained, she seized her own neck in the hope of mitigating the interrupted flow, but the hemoglobin was turning black. Black was her throat. Black was her soul. Yeah, terrified she screamed like an animal. Now you might think this would make me feel bad. But no. She deserved that. That's the reality. Once again, a few retainers gathered on her doorstep.
Another night terror, just great. And she locked herself again, the devil. What are we going to do? I have a hairpin, leave it to me. Perfect, in that case I'll prepare the remedy merchant sold us.
Dude, just leave her alone, to be honest. Whatever happens, happens.
Reckless idiots, what are you doing? If the Lord knew. Listen, she'll be bellowing for 20 minutes straight now, and we all have work to do tomorrow. I can't live with the situation anymore. Let's give her those dang plants so that she can calm down. What if we inadvertently poison her? Well, we'll make it look like an accident. We'll say that she bit her tongue in her sleep or something like that.
I mean, just place everything in her room. And lock the room again. From the outside with the pin. Back then. In that time, good enough, right?
I'm willing to take a risk and kick up with that girl anymore.
Tuesday forced the door and administered a sedative to the young Moor. Fortunately for her, it did not have any undesirable effect. Fuck! Servants were satisfied and then went back to sleep. Damn it! When she awakened, she had a bitter aftertaste in her mouth and she noticed that her door was not locked anymore. Her eyes immediately narrowed.
Seraphine attempted to kill me last night!
Sorry for the little bit of quiet moment. I had to grasp my face with a hand because of how stupid she is still. Kionna's suspicion towards her rival resumed. Both of you do assume you are at the level of a rival, with greater intensity, becoming more unhealthy than ever. Convinced that her invisible enemy was after her unborn child and that she needed to protect herself from an imminent attack, she was now spending most of her days scheming all sorts of plans to eliminate her. LOL. LOL. Her preoccupations were so invasive that retainers could not ignore her anymore.
My goodness, I just glimpsed the mistress on the patio. She was stuck to herself in a monotonous tone. It was absolutely terrifying. Did you hear what she was saying? I didn't dare to come an inch closer. As soon as she noticed my presence, she shot me a dirty look before fleeing away. That woman scares the hell out of me. I've never liked her that much to begin with, but we are reaching an unbearable point.
Same.
I genuinely fear for my life when she's around. Understand what you mean? It's the same for me. The other day she grabbed the servant by the hair. Because her tea was cold. I thought she was going to kill her.
You're talking about a strange illness. I said that she's simply disturbed. She's mad. A madness.
She can only be crazy, okay? You wanna hear the best part? She started talking in her sleep too. How do you know this? That's right, she always locks the door with 2 terrors on the key, especially since last time. Not the soul, but I've made a duplicate of the key. Every time she has a new night terror, I walk into her quarters to administer the medicine to her.
Are you crazy? What if she catches you?
She has already woken up a few times, but she's not conscious of her surroundings. It's as if she's still dreaming with open eyes.
That is no reason to continue. You're going to get punished.
Maybe so, but if I don't bring an end to our torment, one of us is eventually going to choke her to death in a rage. She's been preventing us from sleeping for months. Had she been friendly, it would have been alright, but no, we've been scared of her for too long. The fact remains that I sometimes hear her speak upon coming closer. Would you believe it? She keeps repeating Lady Seraphine's name. She says that she's going to kill her, to make her pay. This makes me sick. How can she resent a woman she never met so much? I told you so, she's shady. She's a witch, a non-believer. The sooner the Lord will get rid of her, the better. This story scares me even more. I refuse to be left alone to face her. You won't be. You won't be. We'll now find a way to always be two in the same vicinity to ensure that she's not going to take advantage of the opportunity to make one of us disappear. Talia needs to be notified. Working in such conditions is no longer possible. I agree. In the meantime, let's stay united and grit our teeth, hoping that the storm will pass.
Far from passing, the situation worsened even more when the monarch finally deigned to pay his mistress a visit. Overjoyed, she hastened to announce her pregnancy to him. She had expected expressions of love. Congratulations, that was not the case at all. Good.
My lady, I have not been completely honest. As a matter of fact, I'm already married. I suspected it a little, but I do not care much. You can love the both of us, can you not?
The young man shook his head with a serious look. Kionna thought that her heart was going to fail her. Looking her right in the eye, he gently took her hand. I'm elated to learn that you are expecting a child, and I will obviously ensure that you shall not lack anything. However, I cannot promise to love you, nor to legitimate you one day.
Yes. Why not? If I give birth to a healthy hair, you'll take him into consideration, will you not?
Lady Kionna, all my life I've been continually avoiding problems. My relationship with you was only a passing fancy to escape them. Today I've decided to face up to them and not fall back into my old ways. I know that you love me, but I cannot reciprocate your feelings, even if you give me a son.
Let's go!
All this reigned by those long months spent as a recluse. Fed by paranoia and hatred, the last barrier protecting her heart collapsed. Will she attack him? She fainted and a physician was immediately called. It was declared that she needed to rest a lot and that she was not allowed to leave her bed, for fear of her weakness putting her at risk during the childbirth to come. The entire household begrudgingly took care of her, and Tani stayed at her bedside for a while before returning to the castle. In his absence, the young Moor's fever increased, as her restlessness did, and she was unable to think rationally. I mean, that was the case before already. When was she rational? Seriously. The Clermont domain was in the eye of the cyclone. Dude, she's literally crazy. Indeed, as winter was approaching, Kionna began to suffer from attacks that were more and more common. Everything was so deep. What attacks? So deeply insufferable to her that her feverish confusion was becoming madness. Even when the wind would be strong, she would open the window and tear her pillows with her teeth. Huh.
Where is it? Where is it? I know it is here. Those returners scoundrels put it here to make me spend horrible nights. I know it's somewhere between those feathers. The pea, the nasty pea, which is preventing me from shutting my eyes.
The fuck are you talking about? There is a new archive. I don't know what is she talking about. The Princess and the Pea. The Princess and the Pea. That sounds familiar. Published in 1835, it's one of the first tales tributes to Hans Christian Andersen. Huh. I mean, still, the title sounds familiar. Very brief, it narrates the quest of a suspicious prince who wants to ensure he marries a true princess without ever succeeding. On a torrentially rainy night, a last young woman comes knocking on his door and asks to stay for the night, claiming to be a princess. To unmask her, the old queen places a green pea at the bottom of the bed and covers it with 20 mattresses and 20 duvets. When she is asked if she slept well, she complains about atrocious back pains. The gathering acknowledges that only a princess could be so delicate, and the prince weds her at once. Wow. I mean, to be fair, someone could just lie about that, I guess.
Where is it? Even for 10 duvets and 10 mattresses, I could feel this little hard thing bending my back.
Once the pillows were pierced and searched, she would then throw them in the air and dance under the rain of feathers. Like snowflakes, the pieces of quilt would scatter across the room. Honestly, if I worked there, I would be scared to be in the same room now with her. A bit. I mean, she's clearly like absolutely mad right now. A freaking mad dog.
Snow, snow!
The macabre ball would set ablaze the young woman's delirious eyes. Burning, taken by convulsions, she would go to the window and inhale big cold blasts. Attracted by the noise, some servants would eventually rush over to stop her. Just let her be, to be honest.
Madame, what are you doing? It is not reasonable to open the window in this state.
She would seldom answer, doing little more than laughing, looking out of her mind. Sometimes she would even lean, threatening to fall. But this is ground floor, so it's fine. Right? The servant would invariably attempt to lure her away from the window, but the strength that the delirium gave her would make the task very complicated, and she would only withdraw after a bitter struggle. This little show would be repeated many times, mentally exhausting the entire staff, which had a tremendously hard time holding by the lady of the house. It was in this harsh climate that the child of Kionna and Tali was born. Oh boy, dude. If you think about it, that child would be so crazy. The delivery unfolded in very much the same fashion as the first time, except that the princess was already feverish and faint. She too remained at the edge of consciousness throughout the whole process. These unexpected difficulties made it so that her life was still in danger. Because of the suffering that was devouring the mother, nobody seemed to care about the baby all that much during the very first hours after their coming to the world, and they cried so much they could have destroyed their lungs. Naturally, they were then entrusted to a nanny who took care of them while the princess' fate was being decided. Honestly, like... there is no saving her. Kionna struggled in her half-sleep for days and days until at least she managed to overcome the disease once and for all. Dubbed. This miracle was abundantly commended.
This woman is not a witch, she's a lioness.
Okay, no. Don't give her such a good words.
It is in the unstable state she was in. She should have never regained consciousness and died within a few hours. I'm almost sad that she survived.
High five.
Should have stopped suffering at least.
No. What you should be thinking is she would stop making you feel like you are suffering.
Do you think she will recover, as no seal seems to be looming over her life? God will make her pay 100-fold for her crimes, you'll see.
When the young Moor finally regained consciousness, servants ensured that she was able to take their newborn in her arms before leaving them to her. Bad idea. Burning up her mind still rather distraught, she silently stared at her child. No, she didn't. She's turned with her back to the child.
It is a little girl. A girl? Absolutely, take good care of her.
The retainers left in order to let her have some rest, and she lay down in her bed. Completely exhausted, she fell asleep almost immediately. Her sleep was dark, devoid of dreams, suffocating. In that other world, Morpheus' realm, she no longer existed. She did not feel anything. That apathy brought such a relief. Nothing mattered anymore. However, that peace was brief, for the little being did not take long to whine, probably hungry. Oh boy. She will do something. She will do something terrible, won't she? Because she only thinks of herself, let's face it. In a gloomy mood, Kionna called her lady-in-waiting. And we'll find out what she exactly said in the next episode. Let's end it here, and we'll see what this mad woman is going to do tomorrow. For now, hope you enjoyed. Consider liking, subscribing, always appreciated, of course. The game is on Steam on ndh.io. In the description you have the link to Steam. So feel free to get it yourself. That's all I have to say. She's a mad woman. Holy crap. I've got to this a little late today. To the recording, I mean. But luckily managed. But yeah, tomorrow, hopefully a little more. Maybe prepare something for 2 days or something like that. We'll see. Anywho, hope you all have a wonderful day. Don't be like Kionna. Yeah, that's about it. Bye bye.